Greetings. Oh, so I've been noticing an issue with the token thing. Yeah, it's still doing it. Apparently there was some change that OBS did in their sort of background stuff, which has caused some issues with the Discord reactive images, which I've needed to look at, but you literally can't edit them while the person is not in the Discord with you,
right?
Which is really annoying.
So you can only edit it when we're all here.
Yeah, let me see if I can edit yours. How does this work? Oh, no, that's not how that works. Shoot. Maybe there's another link. Is it this? No, that's mine. How do I change the settings for... Oh. Group. Oh, what the heck? Crossfade effect. If I turn that off. Okay, somebody say something.
Say something.
Oh, I think that fixed it. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, I just had to change a setting. It doesn't fade the dim to bright that well anymore, but what it was doing before is it was screwing up the transition between the dim and the bright version of the image, wherein it would temporarily make the entire image translucent, and so you would see like what's behind the little character icon for a moment, and it like looked really dumb.
Does it look dumber than our roleplay most nights?
Yes.
Oh wow,
surprisingly.
That's actually a feat.
Okay, got that sorted out. Thank you for your patience.
That's all you're getting for tonight. Me and Zach decided you only get one patience tonight, and we get to press you.
How about an ice barrage instead?
Oh, don't do that sound effect. It's way too fucking loud. It's gonna wreck my ears.
When somebody redeems a sound effect, it's like much
yeah,
louder.
So much worse. Legit, so much worse. Hello, 12-year Scotch.
Oh. Just before dinner today, I cut my finger with a bread knife.
Which one?
My right index finger. So like just about the worst finger to cut.
No, which bread knife?
Oh, I only have one.
You only have one bread knife? Yo, bread knives are sharp as shit. Real talk, though. I think the day I got mine, I accidentally lanced a little bit of my thumb off.
No, I have hand-me-down knives. They're really dull.
Yeah, that's also how you cleave, not cut.
Yeah, I got a pretty deep paper cut going on that finger right now, but it stopped bleeding after a minute.
Good stuff. You know, just shake it real hard till all the blood comes out, and then you're good.
Yeah, I'm just kind of annoyed because I have to wear like latex gloves at work, and so it's gonna be a big pain in the butt.
Fair.
Ew, there's a bot spam. Get out of here.
Let me log in.
Get out of here. Ban. There we go. Okay. Alright, great session. I will see you guys next week.
Yep, see you next week, guys. You said we leveled up? Cool.
Level 10?
Actually, wait,
level 11?
I was just thinking about that. When did you guys hit level...
Who cares? 6? It's not about leveling up, it's about the adventure.
Yeah, I guess so.
If we start getting our ass whooped too much, throw us a petty level, but I'm not...
Alright, you know what? I'm gonna... Alright. There we go.
What happens? Have to get more of the...
I would
Didn't we,
Photoshop a meme, but I'm not going to do it now.
It's too much effort at this point. Yeah, the session's running.
Not right now.
Yeah, the session's going.
Okay, let's roll a 1d3.
Not it. I called not it, so...
3. Zach, you're number 3 today.
Nice.
Okay.
Go ahead and give us your summary of last week. Or 2 weeks ago.
Last week was quite the interesting one.
You know, I visited
you know what? Good recap, Zach. I heard all of that. Good recap. Nailed it, honestly.
We had a skill challenge.
We did.
So that was pretty cool. I liked that. And that was the only important thing that happened that session.
I don't agree, but okay.
We found the Myarchy base after some run-in with some more Vyres. Well, we didn't find the base. We ran into somebody who took us to the base. And we met the other members of the Myarchy that were there. And while the rest of us went to bed, Urluk talked to the Myarchy off screen. About lots of things that I didn't read in the Discord chat.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Let's see if
it was mostly just kind of getting them on the same page as us, and like pretty much Urluk setting all of them up eventually for like, but you said you'd help kind of moments. Is like pretty much I want them to be on our side to go back to King Roald so that he's on our side to bring proper reinforcements out here for the Myarchy. That's pretty much the whole point of it.
Okay.
But yeah. Nothing insane, just like gauging the Myarchy as they're like new to us, and then like on top of that being like, if we did this, you're cool with that. If we did this, you're cool with that, like kind of thing. Yeah. And then when they're not eventually cool with it, I'll be like, but you said you were cool with it. Yeah, kind of stuff. This is what I'm hoping for later on. But yeah, nothing crazy. You can read it at any point. It won't make a difference for tonight.
Dobson wasn't there, so I chose not to read it.
Dobson wasn't there to take us to the fair.
Is that a song that I don't know?
From Austin Powers.
I've never seen it.
It's a damn shame.
Cue the complaining every time I say I haven't seen that movie.
Damn shame.
Okay. So, we leave off with the party getting some rest in the Myarchy base. They are told that they can stay there whenever they need to. And the next day, actually, if you guys want to do some RP with one another,
Sound like us. Yeah, it's not really something we do, but we could try. I'll give it a go.
RP, huh?
RP.
These characters,
never
really?
heard of her.
Put you in the room where everybody sleeps. Too lazy to drag Dobson.
He's like the smallest character to drag. What's your strength?
Shush. Put this guy over there too. Okay, so we can go ahead and kind of start the next sort of thing that will happen. If you guys don't want to do a little RP. So
I think like it's like nighttime is what it is, right? Like,
we can night or we can skip to the morning.
What do you want to do, Dobson?
Let's do this.
I'm good with either one. I think Dobson just went straight to bed, so I don't think unless you go wake him up.
No, there's no reason for that. I was talking to the NPCs, and then I was going to crash for the night as well. So
Okay.
Urluk's probably just going to settle down near where the others are.
All right, so yeah, you're able to get a good long rest here. The beds are worn and old and beaten up, but definitely serviceable for the conditions of this location.
Urluk is old and worn and beat up too, so he's not complaining about a bed that looks and feels just like he does.
It's more bed than we've been getting lately.
Yeah, it's a whole lot warmer and less swampy in here than what we're accustomed to, so there's no reason to complain. I'm sure we sleep quite nicely. And then I will wake up in the morning and do that food thing that I discussed.
Food thing?
Yeah, that's where I'll tell Dobson what the plan is and hear what he has to say about it. Because I'm gonna prepare the 45 pounds of food and 15 gallons of water with create food and water for all the people down here, as well as myself and the party. I won't season it much, honestly, because the rest of it is going to go over the wall in small parcels, like I was saying. And I want to throw it, over a 15-minute walk to kind of not only make the people inside who might be surviving might have a chance of grabbing some food, but I also want to bring the security's attention to areas of the wall that we're not going to access. Put increased security in areas that we're not going to be, if that makes sense. Like far enough away from the Myerkey.
Okay.
Because they know we're here. We literally just kidnapped one of their prisoners, Dermo.
Yes, you did.
It's not like they know they probably already have people searching for us, if not already. And they're not idiots. Like, vampires are generally relatively smart, I would say.
Seems like it so far.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to, so, because they probably are still on a higher alert than normal, especially since they kind of followed you partway through the city.
I can wait to do it, honestly, but I do want to do that at some point.
Yeah, like the next morning?
I would probably ask Zephylos and Dermo what they think of the idea, and Dobson what they think of the idea.
Dermo is like,
Dermo,
I just need to recover right now.
I didn't mean to say Dermo. Dermo's like dying.
Yeah, Dermo has like 4th level exhaustion.
Yeah, he needs to stay here probably a couple days, realistically.
Yes.
But I would ask them what they think of the idea, just for the consideration of scattering the forces inside the wall. Maybe we don't really know how many vampires they have or how strong their military is, or their defenses or anything. So I'd like to start getting some sort of a gauge on their reaction force if we do something, because last time it was just 3 vampires, and now that might have just been because that was the scouts that were out at the time, but now that they know people are here, maybe they'll send more. I just want to figure out what we're up against on a typical reaction.
Okay.
That's kind of the point. We don't have to do it right now, but I would express that to the party that I think it's important to see what we're kind of up against if we are caught with our pants down.
Okay.
But whatever you have for us today, we'll do that, because I realize we're half our strength tonight.
Sure. Did you have a plan to try and investigate that?
Yeah, the food thing. I was gonna throw bundles of food and see where they went first and how many they sent and stuff like that. Like over a large enough span of the wall where it wouldn't.
Over the wait. You are still inside the wall.
Yeah, sorry. When I say over the wall, I mean inside the wall. My bad. I realize that. But
Okay.
they're searching for us likely in this area, and I want to like. I mean, I guess the first step would be like, do they have a means of traveling through the city without taking the streets and the surface stuff?
Well, you know about
Where we
at
are
least
now.
half of the vampires that you've seen patrolling are the winged ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would want to start gauging where in the city the forces are, and we know how many Myarchy we have, but we don't really know like who inside the walls, civilian-wise, is willing to fight. I guess they're all pretty weak, so it's not like
They are.
yeah. But like also as part of why I'm feeding them is like I want them to like start building their strength.
Sure. Okay. So feeding the masses. Okay.
Yeah. I mean it's an easy spell. 45 pounds of food could feed probably like I don't know 100 people a day.
Yeah. The people considering their already malnourished condition.
You don't want to overfeed them, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably more than 50 people.
And then slowly less and less over time as they become stronger.
Yeah.
And we have a platoon of fighters inside eventually over the span of us kind of getting in, getting things set up here. It might take a couple weeks. It's going to take a week for Dermo to recover, so we'll see how it looks in a week from now.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Dobson, thoughts?
Sounds good.
I think he says it sounds good. I couldn't really hear him, though.
Oh my god. When you do want to have him enact that, at least for the first day, possibly for multiple.
Well, I'm gonna check the ball bearing today for sure, and if that's position, then we'll give them food so we can start kind of setting that up. Remember, I have the post in that building with the ball bearing in case they need more food or not.
Oh yeah.
That way, I don't have to like wait for them, and they don't have to wait for me.
How much food did they give you? Also, they're fairly far away.
Yeah, I get.
They're like
I guess
over at the south side of the town. You're in like the Middle East.
Yeah, it would take some time to get back through then. All right. Well, I'll find a new group of survivors and introduce them to
Screw those guys, I guess.
I mean, we'll make our way back down there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's just not. I don't want to venture too far while our party's on the lam.
Yeah. Do you want to do a roll or two to see how carefully and stealthily you can carry out that for the first day, or do you want to wait until...
I'm going to wait the first day.
Okay. Makes sense.
I want to talk with the Myarchy too and see their thoughts on building a strength inside the city. Let me look at the names again. Right. So, the barbarian dude, Andes or whatever. I would want to see if he'd travel with us, especially being down a couple men today. He said he was down for a fight. He's always down to protect the weak. And I would milk that empathy beat as much as I could to get him to join us and tell us the ins and outs of the city from his knowledge. And then I would also talk to Flagian about the forces of the civilians, like we were saying. The Flagian seemed to be the older guy that was in charge, right?
Flagian is kind of the sort of academic, sort of historian guy. The man in charge is Safalan.
Gotcha. I would talk to Safalan then.
Okay. So Andius will happily talk to you at length about like the town, kind of tips a little bit on how to get around. And in having this lengthy conversation with him, you will have gained enough knowledge to no longer risk getting lost in the town, which was not a sure thing up until this point, because we had the skill challenges and whatnot. So you have that. You have that now. So he gives you advice on like sort of good ways to sneakily get around, kind of a little bit better ways to predict the vampires in doing that. So that will that should be helpful for you guys.
Nice. Yeah, I agree. That would be nice. So.
If you were to seek out Safalon, he will be here in the morning.
So we can find the Meyer key without having to do their skill check, pretty much coming back here.
Yeah. So you can find this this place again without having to worry at this point. Do you want to RP with Safalon or paraphrase?
I mean, I'll talk with Safalon. Yeah, let's RP with Safalon.
Okay. I'll bring him over here for the immersion.
Yeah, that morning I'd wake up and you'd see Urluk kind of preparing, you'd be conjuring some food, and he would tell Safalon, it's not very delicious, but it'll nourish you. So eat up. If you have no food, if you don't need food, we'll give it to the others. And I'll start pouring some food into each of the bowls if they have bowls to eat from. I'm sure they do.
They do. So he will say, usually Vertida is able to provide us with some magical nourishment of his own. So if you'd like, you can save this for someone else.
I will then relay that I intend to travel through the city, and I'll say, I seek the survivors, and if you do not want to eat this, I'm still going to conjure it so that they can eat as well. He says, where is the easiest way to find the weak and the feeble in town?
Well, really, they're all around.
He says, do they not gather to any specific locations? Nest around certain hearths in the city? Safe spots, if you...
There are few safe areas in the city that the people will congregate. They are so numerous and the city so dense that practically anywhere you go, you will find the hungry and the needy.
I intend to build the ranks of the Mayaki so that when we leave here to head back to Mistalin, you may be able to defend yourselves with less than exemplary fighters, at least.
It could be helpful if we could bolster the morale of the people, not to mention their health.
In what ways would they need bolstering, my friend?
Well, I'm sure you've seen so far that the people are mostly malnourished, drained of blood, dying.
May I bring them here, then?
That's a good question. At the same time as it is important to help the people, we do need to maintain a level of secrecy of our operations.
Do you believe there are humans on the surface that might give away this location to the vampires, even if they were on our side inside of the camp?
There could be. These people are desperate.
Desperate.
I am hopeful of the good in the Mauritanian people, but there are many who would pay a terrible price for their own gain.
And what do they seek to gain, in your opinion?
Protection.
And we can't offer that?
Not as easily as the vampires.
That's fair. And say, but this comes with numbers.
Yes.
As we build our strength, those that may be weak to the vampires will be less susceptible. Would you not agree?
I do.
So we must begin somewhere. And trust is the first step. Just as you trusted us to come down here and not murder you all, as we might have been able to do, says we must trust others to do the same.
You make a fair point.
He says, but we must use our best insight. I agree. These are dire times. I'll look over to Dobson and I'll say, Dr. Dobson, I see you have your notebook in hand.
Oh, good, he's back.
But you always have your notebook in hand, I imagine, right?
He wouldn't actually have it out right now.
I'm still gonna say
No
it.
way.
My
Not even with
vision's not what it
Vertita over here sitting in sitting in the room with his pointy ears.
I think I got everything out of Vertito that I'm going to get.
Giggity.
Giggity.
It was a long night.
And is just eager to get a chance to inspect some more vampires. So he doesn't really have his...
Do you have any notes on the humans that were in town?
No.
Excellent. Oh, we should probably begin.
He was not expecting a no.
Usually, I'll apologize to Sullivan. I'll say, usually our small greed friend is a little better with the paperwork. I'll be sure to have him write down what he can find of the survivors. See what army we can begin to build against the vampires. I'll say, Dobson, you will pick up the slack, will you not?
Only if you promise we're gonna see more vampires.
I promise. I'm gonna say I promise before you even finish what you're saying. Only if you promise. I promise.
That is funny. Saflan will butt in after that humorous exchange, and he'll say, well, if you are eager to learn more, I actually have a job for you that would put you in close proximity to them. I've been wanting to do a reconnaissance job for a while now. And
Does Dobson have his notes out now?
yeah. I could use some assistance with that.
I'm all ears.
That's not what I would have said, but I guess it's you saying it.
Vertita will get up and come closer, having heard Saflan make mention of this. Saflan will then continue. At some point, the one of the end goals of our operation will be to assassinate the Drakens. While vampire rule is very hierarchical, there are only a select few extremely powerful vampires that will need to be directly dealt with in order to enact a significant change around here.
I would tell him I've held correspondence with Vanstrom for many weeks now.
Really?
Yes, sure.
Vanstrom Klaus?
Sure. I'll
Interesting.
say.
Where did you see him?
That's the one we fought, if I'm not mistaken, right? That's who I've been messaging?
Yes, you're right.
Okay. Let's say we interacted with him many weeks ago when he decided he wanted to fight our party. I think it was to gauge our strength at the time, though his familiar form stays in my mind and I send him messages before bed every night.
Messages.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What are you sending him?
Small banter. Bits and pieces of nothing, just to keep him on his toes. I message at all hours of the night. If I wake up to pee, I'll message him. Just, let him know that he is living rent-free in my mind.
You know that they are nocturnal.
Indeed. That's why I message all hours of the day and night. If I think of him, I send him a message, and in that moment, I'm gonna send him a message. Thinking of you, big boy. Hope you're doing terrible. And my eyes will open back up as I look over.
It's like, Vanstrom is, well, while he is not a true vampire, he is one of the more powerful and one of the biggest thorns in our side.
I'm gonna say that next time I send him a message, I'm gonna say he's not a real vampire. I bet that'll get a response.
Oh shit. Anyhow, the job that I had in mind is that we need to take a close look at Castle Draken to the north, the home of the
Have we heard that name
royal
before?
vampires. I don't think so.
Okay. I'll look over to Dobson. Write that down. Castle Draken.
Castle Dragon.
Indeed. Not knowing that he didn't hear
Does he say that? Does he say that out loud, or is he just writing it?
He's writing. I'm just being funny.
Oh, okay. Now, it is certainly easy to find. It towers over the landscape, the largest building in the Sanguinesti by far. However, we really don't know much about it, so we need to do a survey of the exterior, find what kind of entry points, weak areas we can exploit. As far as we know, Lord Draken spends almost all of his time within the castle. He's very reclusive, and so we will likely have to enter it in order to find him and eliminate him.
What do we know of this Lord Draken?
Oh.
Besides that he is the leader of the vampires and likely extraordinarily powerful.
Well, you're right about that. He is a true vampire. Not of this world and not converted from a human like most others.
Are you writing that down?
His first name is Lawerniel. He's a male, very, very old, from the times before the God Wars, at least.
Thousands of years.
Yes. He possesses very immense power. It's difficult to really know for sure how much, because, like I said, he's very reclusive, and we really have to go by what we know from legend, from hundreds and from thousands of years ago. Now, he has two siblings, also true vampires. He's the oldest, but he has a younger sister, Vanescula, and also a younger brother, Ranus. Both are said to be quite strong, though not quite as powerful as Lawerniel himself. Those two are seen much more often in Darkmeyer, where all the vampires reside, just to the north. Much more frequently, they seem to do more of the day-to-day governance than the older brother.
Are we aware of the northern part of the city having a different name? Were we aware of that prior?
Yes. In fact, it's one of the things that wrong map. That Zephylos had researched was the city of Darkmeyer. which you now are pretty sure, well, Southland just told you, but it borders to the north of Meyerditch. Meyerditch being where all of the human captives are held, and Darkmeyer where the vampires themselves live. Castle Draken being within Darkmeyer.
Within Darkmeyer, yep. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Saflan will continue. Now, I had originally wanted to send Vertita on this job himself. However, I'm not quite. I had grown a little wary of sending really anyone on their own, unless it is strictly going to be beneficial to remain alone. So if the two of you would be willing to go with him, I'm sure that you could be, it could be very helpful.
Okay.
As Dobson's quite eager to self-assassinate. I'm going to
self-assassinate.
I'm going to seppuku, whatever you want to call it. I think self-assassinate sounded cleaner. I'll raise up my biggest concern, which is we have already faced the vampires with little to no success, and it's a numbers game right now where our druid's like nearly dead from it, and I would say we would be glad to do this service for you if we could acquire some muscle. And I'll do like a gesture with my arm as I look over to Andius, and I'd say, I talked with one of your warriors last night, and he seemed quite eager to jump on the front with us. Is this still the case? And I'll look over to him if he's in the room. Is he in the room?
He's got his arms crossed. He's leaned up on the wall listening to the conversation. He gives a nod as Savlan looks over.
And I'll say, very good. I'll say, with our numbers bolstered, we shall indeed do this favor for you.
Excellent. I wish you the best of luck. Vertita here has some magic that should help you to remain unseen.
Yeah, he got for us.
So he will, Saflan will let you guys go. He'll go over and talk to Flagian again or something. Bertita and Andius move in to confer with you guys before heading out. Bertita will say, "Oh, I practice a little bit of natural magic, and so I can bolster our ability to remain stealthy." That being, of course, flavor for he has pass without trace and fog cloud.
I'll express that I too have
magic.
a bit of concealment magic, and I do appreciate any opportunity he can offer to save me from expending my own abilities for the day. Yeah.
Right. Additionally, I can produce a little bit of magical food. Not quite as much as it sounded like you were talking about. And I can provide a little bit of healing over time. Andius is like, I have a battle axe.
I'll point to Andius and I'll say, that sounds good.
After all the magic, and then I have an axe.
I'll ask Andius if his battle axe is silvered.
I had not written it as being silvered, but it probably would be, because otherwise, why the hell would he have it?
Right? Why would
changing it to a silvered one?
Yeah.
Right now, there we go. Boom, silvered battle axe. Why not?
So a yes then is what I'll get
yes.
Back. And I'll say excellent. I'm gonna say, do you need anything before leaving, Andius?
I'm sorry. Did you just say excellent?
Excellent. Maybe.
Okay, carry on.
My wayward son. My spells are good for the day.
Let's see. So Vertita will always use a good berry to feed everybody. So he's got one of those down already. He will use a second first level slot to hand each of you guys 2 good berries, including himself.
I will politely decline. No,
I will
thank you.
take mine. I'll take both of them.
Are you sure?
Yes.
It will help if one of us is, God's forbid, caught and knocked unconscious.
I will take both the good berries. I'll say, if we do not find use for them, I will be surprised.
Okay, so he'll hold on to the extra ones then.
I said, if he's not leaving to go out, then I'll take whatever good berries he gives, because I'm going to end up giving them to people inside.
Yeah, okay. If Dobson won't take one, he gives everyone else 3.
Excellent. Very good, I'll say.
Ha!
You get it, Dobson? It's a good berry, very good. No? Okay.
Write that down, write that down.
Write that down, write that down.
I did not, in fact, write that down.
See, when Dermo does it, you can still say cherry good. That one was funnier?
That was funnier, Zach?
How is that one funnier?
Your sense of humor is so odd, I love it.
The CH sound is less... it's farther away from B compared to the V
right.
sound.
Like, I
it was
find it
like
funnier.
a statistically not as good of a
It
pun.
was statistically worse.
Mathematically worse.
Which makes Zach love it. Zach's
Spring
like,
is
no
just
one would
around the
find
corner.
that funny, that's why it's a hoot. I can see Zach saying hoot.
I've got to get like a
Occasion.
spring.
I could also see
Like a-
Striggy saying hoot.
I got to get like a
sure.
big spring to put like in the corner of the camera.
Yeah,
Just
you like that
Point
one,
at
Zach?
it every time Zach starts wheezing. It's like, look, there's a spring.
It's every few sessions we get the knee slapper out of him.
Oh, I better make sure I have the map ready for this.
Holy shit, we have 5 whole viewers right now.
Ayo.
He said, as
Whoa.
3 of them left.
3 people have been in the chat, actually. And then I guess the other 2 is you guys. Wow.
Yeah, I'm here. If Booty's making tea, if Buck Cupcake's making tea, you know it's chai tea.
Is it?
Yeah, that's like her favorite tea to make.
Oh, is that your friend?
Yeah, she's one of my players and one of my friends.
Oh, okay. I forget who is whose friend. I'm sorry. Oh my god, he posted more owl gifs.
Oh boy.
What does that one have to do with anything?
Because I said hoot. I said.
Oh, he said
yeah,
hoot.
I said I could see Dobson saying that's a hoot, or Zach saying that's a hoot. I said I could also see Striggy saying it, and then he started laughing.
You're right. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not the map that I wanted. Where's the map that I
But
wanted?
it's the map we deserve.
Ah, this is the map that I wanted. Hopefully you guys don't go in the castle, because I don't have any of those maps yet.
Let's go in the castle. I have a strong.
Oh no,
impulse to
my
go into
secret. My secret.
Do you not know Dobson well enough yet?
We can theater of the mind it.
If we can sneak Dobson somewhere, we're going to.
I have to break out my old notebooks. I first, in my original campaign of this, I like drew out all the rooms that I wanted in the castle on a notebook. I had to go find it. Okay, any other preparations before heading out of the hideout?
Who had the healing magic, you said?
Vertita has some healing magic.
We won't make use of it yet, but I'm sure that we might have to at some point.
Possibly.
And I will do. I'm gonna do a small. I'm gonna do a small blessing over us, just flavor, kind of really. I'll pull out my holy symbol and I'll say, "By day or night, in defeat or victory, the great Lord will be with us." And I'll gesture to the party and I'll say, "Are we ready?"
Yeah.
That's what I was
Andius gives a nod, and Vertita says, "Yep, let's go."
Tally ho! I'll say.
Tally forth. Okay, let's go to the map. The map. Okay,
The map.
so
The map. The map. The map.
Vertita informs the party that Castle Draken. Oh, I can add a map point for this. Actually,
Nice.
let me do that.
On the overmap?
Yeah, I'm gonna add an overmap location. Hey, give me a second. Hang on. What's that? Let's do 6 maybe? Yeah, okay. Like that. And another one. And another one. And one more. Okay, and then a big one. Right there. It's gotta be bigger than that though.
I'm not seeing any updates on the map.
Hang on. I didn't turn the lights on yet.
Okay.
Did that work? No.
Nope.
Did not work. Oh, I know why it didn't work. Because I put walls around Meyer Ditch to make the lighting easier. Hang on.
That makes sense.
I gotta get rid of these walls.
Just turn them into ethereal and then you don't have to get rid of them, right?
Too late.
Fair. Yeah, that's a
Look at
big
that.
castle.
You see it now? Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, we see it now.
It's not to scale.
It's a big castle, though.
Didn't quite get the gargoyles all the way inside the light effect.
I think we'll be okay.
The name is also like awkwardly to the outside.
That name is 24 miles across.
Yo, that is a lot of ink.
It's like the Hollywood sign.
Right. Castle Draken, letting everyone know. Subtlety is not the vampire's forte, apparently. Love it.
It's the most brightly lit up thing in all of Mauritania.
Just blood red lighting up.
So, Vertita will say, Castle Draken is in the northwest corner of Darkmeyer. Now, I think I have, I think I've studied the sort of the exterior walls enough in my scouting that I'm confident that I can, fairly confident that I can get us all the way there undetected. But we'll have to travel through the inside of the wall for quite a ways. We'll be relatively safe in there. Then there should be a opening small enough for us to climb up and out of to get a view of the castle.
I'll ask that he is sure that all of these paths are at least camel-sized.
I think so.
Good enough for me.
Only one way to find out.
Might be a little tight squeeze.
You say that, Dobson. There's more than one way to find out. Let's not be so binary with everything.
So, Vertita will, let's see, how long does Pass Without Trace last? Is it an hour?
Whoa.
Yeah, okay, that's probably long enough. So
into my computer, I can't see any. Hold on. Everything zoomed in like a million times. I don't know what I did.
Hey.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh god, my magnifier. That's what I did. I hit my magnifier. It was 200% zoomed in. Okay, now I can see my screen. Good lord. I don't even know what I hit to do that. I can see the game again. We're good. Okay, we're good.
Okay, good. I have no second level spell. Oh, shoot.
Looked over and my character sheet was the entire screen.
Okay. Vertida will cast Pass Without Trace, giving
put
everyone, so long as you stay within 30 feet of him, a big stealth bonus.
I'll put Blessing of the Trickster on Vertidas.
On Vertida?
Yeah.
Actually, let's see. Does Andius have noisy armor? I don't think so.
He's a barbarian, you said? So I don't think
He's got a chain shirt, which I don't think has disadvantage.
I think it do, don't it?
I think it's on the lower end of medium.
But it's the metal that makes it.
Chain shirt does not have stealth disadvantage.
Nice.
Way to
Good.
break immersion.
Break immersion. Yeah, my barbarians have to be noisy. God damn it. Even if they live somewhere, they have to be really stealthy all the time.
Quite quiet for one, you know.
So Vertida will carefully guide the group through what it could be arguably the more dangerous part of the journey, which is getting all the way over to the western wall. What with the vampires on a bit of high alert. So we'll have a group stealth check with the NPCs. And you do have a +10 thing. You can add it to the roll manually, or we can just look at it and add it. Either way.
And Vertidas will get advantage on hits.
Yes, he will.
Urluk rolls a dirty 20.
Bruh. My man's with the nat 1. Okay.
Oh boy. Maybe I should have put it on Andy's.
I mean, yeah, Vertida is already good at stealth, to be fair.
Yeah, having seen that, next time I'll put it on him, but yeah.
You can change it after reaching the western wall, so like
Yeah,
after
let
the
me
result
know.
of basically this roll is over.
Sure, let me know and I will.
Okay, yeah, Vertida got, with the bonus, a 27. Let's see, Dobson 25, Urluk 20, Andius the only one lower than 20 at a total of 12. It's a good thing he's got the +1. Okay, so, but it was a group check, so, you know, you really only needed 3.
Nice.
Andius struggles a little bit to stay within the shadows. He's not quite as, I don't want to say not as sharp, but he's not quite as, he doesn't quite have the finesse of a light-footed sort of character that some of the others that have specifically trained themselves in being stealthy do.
He doesn't do his morning yoga, is what you're saying.
He doesn't do his yoga.
His morning yoga, yeah.
Yeah, not so much. But luckily, the party is able to like direct him a little bit together. Like, hey, get up against that wall, step lighter, you know, that kind of stuff. And you managed to make it to the western wall of Meyerditch without any big incidents.
Yeah.
Without too much suspicion. Once you reach about this location on the map, Vertida searches along the western wall for a few minutes before finding what he was looking for. A little he finds a like a patch of the ground which is covered with some old leaves. He brushes them aside and reveals that there is a small plank that can be lifted to expose a tiny, not a tiny, but a fairly tight-looking tunnel. Tight for a camel, I guess, but for him it's okay.
Most things are tight when you're a camel, because being a camel's hella tight.
For me, it's
pretty tight,
downright
bro.
spacious.
Dobson just like walks standing up through the
Don't rub it in, all ears.
So, he directs you through the tunnel, which leads you to the interior of the western wall. So between the two sort of thick portions of the wall on the exterior side and the interior side, there's about 3 feet of clearance of width along the wall's direction, through which you can, with relative safety, traverse northward toward Darkmeyer. So now he brings you to about, let's say, he brings you to about here, still on the wall, or inside the wall. And eventually, it's only a couple minutes worth of walking because our map is not really scaled with the cities. Couple minutes walking north until you see him start to like brush his fingers along the interior side of the wall, looking for something until eventually he stops. He finds what appears to be another sort of worn down gap in the wall, and directs you guys to squeeze out of it and then climb very carefully up back to the top of the wall. So at this point we'll need some more stealth.
I'll put it on NDS at this point.
Yeah, and I just realized that I didn't even give Vertita advantage, but it didn't really matter. No. Let's go back to NDS. And stealth with +10 advantage. That's better.
31?
Now watch Vertita fail it or something.
With advantage, I'll laugh.
With normal.
Yeah, right.
Okay, no, he's still got better than
Andy's.
Andy's. Yeah. Very nice.
Would Dobson get 20 or 30? Nice.
Yes, 30. So okay, everyone rolled above 26, which is really, really good. So the top of the wall here does have like a half wall structure behind which the party can hide for much of the time. This area is not as heavily patrolled as Meyerditch, which makes sense because there are not quite so many prisoners here in this region of the city, of the 2 cities, I guess. So you are able to very carefully and quietly approach the castle to the north. Now you've come close enough to the castle to be able to see it with your own eyes, and I better get out a picture so I can give a cool description of it.
Nice.
You know, sometimes I feel like I should like pre-write descriptions of important stuff, and then other times I'm like, I really don't want to.
It's my struggle too,
again.
so I can appreciate it.
I kind of go back and forth on it sometimes.
Yeah.
Personally, I prefer non-pre-written because I can always tell when the GM switches to a pre-written thing, and it just kind of takes me out of it.
I mean,
that's fair.
If there's so much going on, though, I'll prepare a description of a scene and stuff, so like I'm not like trying to remember the 10 or 11 things going on that night.
Well, there's a difference between like rehearsing it ahead of time and just writing it down and reading it off of script.
True. I don't always have the time to rehearse a bunch, so I usually just read some of the things that I jot down. So like, you see things like this, this, and this. I'll just like list it off, and they're like, okay, yeah, that's.
Anyway. The castle takes the shape of a massive circular tower. It is very, very tall, probably at least 100 feet tall. The entryway, the main entryway, is on the east side of the castle, the whole thing being surrounded by the probably the thicker walls of any that you've seen so far. So it kind of caps the northwestern corner of Darkmeyer here, with the main entrance facing Darkmeyer. It is made of a carved sort of pale gray stone, almost reflecting the pale gray hue of the vampire's skin. It is parts of it, particularly around the main entrance, are carved in not like in like inlaid sort of statues, but like sort of odd shapes that almost they're kind of vague shapes, but they kind of resemble the look of like enormous bat wings, or like sort of distorted kind of limbs or bodies. It's kind of like a sort of organic kind of style of shapes that the stone is carved to. You will have to get a bit closer to, or walk the perimeter to get a good idea of if there's any other entrances to the castle other than the obvious huge one on the east.
I will ask Veritas if he thinks we have time to do that safely.
I've never walked all the way around to the north side. It might be a little bit more dangerous than what I'm hoping to get into today.
I'll look at Dobson and I'll say, "You heard the D word, buddy. Are we doing it?"
Yes.
There we go. I'll look over to Veritas and it says, "We got a man on the inside." Well, we'll have a man on the inside.
Oh no. Is he actually gonna go inside?
Yes! I'm waiting for it.
Let's see here.
Danger's his middle name.
Is it now?
No, it's actually Doctor, I think.
True.
Certainly not
his
a
name.
degree
His name is
name.
Dobson, Dr. Alistair.
Kama's a really weird name, but I've heard weirder from goblins, I guess.
Took the birth certificate really literal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do something stupid.
That's what I'm talking about, brother. Let's go. Let's go.
All right.
I thrive for stupid. What are we doing?
I'm gonna go in.
What's your plan, though, Dobbs?
I'm gonna walk in.
Very good, and I'll put the blessing of the trickster on him, and I'll say, what's one more man in the gutters? Do you need anything of me before you go?
I got the blessing of the trickster. That's all I need.
Okay. I'll give you a nice firm shake of a hand, and I'll say, in case this is the last time we see you, we will remember your name, Mr. Dorlison. Dorkson. We'll remember your name. Somebody will. Maybe not to me. Very good. Off you go.
I go.
I'll watch him disappear, right?
Yep.
Okay. Where are you headed? What's your plan?
I think my goal is to try and figure out the best way that we could get people other than myself inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looking for a camel-sized hole in the wall.
Yeah, or someplace like
giant 5-foot hole with no window or bars or anything.
We can't talk about the camel in the room, so to speak, if we don't get said camel in the room first.
True.
Yeah, I need to. I'm looking for like, whether it's a place where the wall is in disrepair, or some place that seems less guarded, where we could fly a camel in.
That's
or...
the staple now, though. Fly the camel in.
Or like maybe most castles have a secret. I don't know if Dobson would know this, but most castles do have a secret back entrance, so that in the event of a siege, they can send messengers out, or the king can escape.
Escape, yeah. Royalty can get out safely.
Yeah.
Usually tunnel out the back.
Mm-hmm.
And it usually goes past where an army would be standing, so that it can pop out, not in a war zone. Yeah.
And it's usually difficult to see from the outside, unless you know what you're looking for. But
I would think.
Otherwise, it'd be kind of null.
Kind of pointless.
Yeah.
But it's also usually not heavily guarded.
Also, it would also defeat the point.
Yeah. So just basically just looking for ways that I can get other people in, and I'm gonna. I'll take. Assuming I don't get caught, I'll use the full hour of invisibility or I'll cast a spell to give myself another hour. And just kind of going around the exterior, looking for anything to get other people in.
Okay. Let me see. Let me have a look at what I have here. So, make me a stealth check.
Okay, you're a stealth check.
Zach privately rolled some. Was that your?
That was my personal roll.
That was your seppuku roll.
Yeah. So Blessing of the Trickster is advantage, right?
Yeah. Yep. Okay. For an hour.
Oh yeah.
And I'm that and invisible.
Oh, except it still says privately. Can you roll it public, please?
Let us see your failures.
Do you want me to re-roll it or just send a screenshot of it?
Just re-roll it.
Okay. Let's see. Public stealth advantage.
Okay. Okay, and you will not have the pass without trace because you will be moving away from Vertita. So it's 19.
That's fair.
However, you are invisible, which will affect at the other end creature's ability to see you. So they have a penalty to passive and disadvantage on active for the most part. So, walking around the outside, you start at the sort of southeast, where you could get a good view already of the front entrance. Travel along the south, and I'll need we'll go with perception for right now.
From me?
Yes. And hang on, do you... it is dim light.
I do have dark vision.
You do have dark vision, which makes dim light normal light, I think, for you. I think that's how that works.
I believe so.
Yeah, you can see in dim light as if it were bright light. Okay. Let's see. Are you within 60 feet of the castle, though?
I think being invisible, I'm not worried about getting spotted, so I'd be as knowing that I have a certain level of range, I'd be within that range.
Okay. So let's see. The way that I have this sort of mapped out on what my own resources that I'm looking at, sometimes while on the wall you can be within 60 feet of the castle, but there are a few places where you do have to step up to like 80 feet away.
Okay.
Actually, up to 100 feet away.
Is that taking into account my boots of spider climb? Or slippers of spider climb?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you, in order to see in normal lighting 100% of the perimeter of the castle, you would probably have to climb down onto the castle grounds.
Okay.
Right now you can see about 60 or 70% of it very well. Unless you have a larger dark vision range than I thought you did, but I don't think you do.
No, I've got 60 feet.
Okay.
What would I have to do to bump that number up to seeing about 80%? Would I have to like spend a bunch of time out on the grounds?
You would have to spend about a third of your time on the ground, a bit closer. Also, let us not forget this Dorgishan feature, which I totally forgot about for a long time. Are you proficient in perception? Yes, you
I
are. You get expertise in perception while whatever you're trying to perceive is in dim light or darkness, which, lucky for you,
Yeah.
Mauritania is entirely within dim light 100% of the time.
Shocker. Put on my surprised face, dude.
So that'll give you another 3 here, so that'll be 16. So, okay, yeah, anyway, we're talking about getting closer. What do you want to do?
Let's see here. Do I dare? Do I do the stupid? Do I do the extra stupid?
Does he do the stupid?
Please
Question
do.
marks.
Please do the stupid. Please do the stupid. We're here for this.
I do the extra stupid.
How great would
You
that
do
be
the-
if, like...
Are you just
Zephyros
rolling
comes back
a
and we're all
DC
dead?
2 check or something?
If it's high, I do the smart thing. If it's low, I do the
Oh,
stupid
you're just doing
thing.
high or low, okay.
Wouldn't it be great if Zephyros comes back next week and he's like, half our party disappeared and never came back?
Yeah, they're just gone now, and also Vertita's dead.
God forgive. Ah, shit, that'd be awful. I love it. We're here for that kind of chaos, DM. Get ready for it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so what is your stupid plan?
I'm
In
gonna
your
go
own
down the
words.
ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Enough to get that up to seeing 80% of the wall, or
Okay, we will keep your stealth check from before. That's fine. Luckily, the slippers make it pretty much trivial to get up and down the wall, so you don't have to worry about that. Unless your feet fall out of them. I'm gonna make that joke like every time because I'm imagining them being like I'm imagining them every time being flip-flops instead of like Crocs.
Well, the
for
thing is,
back.
Crocs are officially canon in Gielinor now. As of Head Oasis, they're officially
That's true.
canon.
There are Crocs.
Yeah, and can I just say that I'm really bummed out that the Pride Crocs, because they have Pride Crocs, you know.
They have Pride Crocs.
Yeah, there's Pride Crocs, and they're literally just rainbow Crocs. I'm really mad they didn't call them Gators.
Gator.
Really bummed out at that missed opportunity, but whatever.
I mean, to be fair, someone probably would have complained and been like, "Pride is more than just being gay."
That's fair, but like, the play on words has been RuneScape's biggest strength.
You know, you can call them whatever you like, though.
I like to call them Gators.
Gators. That's great. That's awesome.
Right? I'd wear them. I'm trying to get them still. I just haven't gone to Hex Oasis for any reason.
We all grew up wearing kind of like gaiters that we got from the Stronghold of Security, you know?
Right?
Boots.
The rainbow boots.
Right?
Fancy boots, as they're supposed to be called, but everyone Actually, did people call them rainbow boots? I don't know.
I think we call them rainbow boots. You can buy those. You can buy the Stronghold Security socks for like $12 on their website, of course.
Yeah, I saw that. They have new books coming out.
I
was looking at
want
the store.
Yeah, I want I want the Santa giant mole pin.
Oh yeah, I kind of want the Christmas sweater.
I mean, yeah, the jumper
Ugly
one.
Sweater.
Yeah, it's nice,
but
dude.
it's like I think it's like $50.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, some of them are kind of pricey. They get you.
And they have to ship from the UK, so the shipping's always
Well,
like $20.
the thing is, it's a private store, right? It's like a player-owned store that they like. Somebody wins RuneFest and they sell their stuff on the website, right? Like, can't we just go to
Not
Etsy?
all of it.
Oh, okay. I was like, can't we just find it on Etsy then, or something? I don't know.
Some people, yeah, you can buy it there, but the actual merch that's not like
It's officially
sponsored, like Etsy person, which there is some, ships from the UK, I think.
Well, that's
which
a big old
sense.
poop. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of a poop, though.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's see. We're doing a stupid thing. So, Dobson climbs down, begins circling the castle, and trying to see if he can find any other entrances or hidden areas. With a 19 in stealth while invisible, luckily you will be pretty safe. So, circling around the castle, going clockwise, so like heading west and then over to the north and then back to the east. There are no like obvious other entrances, so there's not like another entrance like on the west or on the north side or anything. The castle is, however, quite tall, taller than you will be able to see while on the ground or even at the wall. You can't see with your dark vision the top, so it's pretty difficult to see that high up there.
Is that a height joke because he's a goblin? Or just in general he would?
Alright, bring on all your Farquaad jokes now. I was just watching Shrek the other day.
So good.
So there's not another obvious entrance. You keep an eye out also for like little windows or something, and actually, perhaps to your surprise, there are not really windows in this castle, like not even really arrow slits. It is very very bleak and just like cold in that way, almost as if it's like a prison rather than a castle. But perhaps it is by design that there are no windows here. And actually, I'm gonna make you. Can I have you make a very high DC history check?
Sure.
To see if you
I don't know if you'll
see if you can catch on it, or it goes over your head. Hey, another Farquaad joke.
Hey, so thinking about the lack of windows in this castle, you recall that the vampires were around the time that they took over control of these lands, they were in a war with the Icene, which are like sort of winged angels sort of species, and so perhaps they did not want to have any high up entry places to the castle so that the Icene could not enter from places that would be easy for them to reach as compared to like a non-flying race.
All right.
As you head up to the north and the northeast side, it is about when you're most of the way around your complete loop of the exterior, when you would see some creatures exit the castle from inside, out the main entrance. So you're standing north of the main entrance at this point, and they are on the east side of the castle, to your south. And you see, who do you see? Who's there? You see 4 creatures. They look like they're all. Are they all vampires? No, 3 of them are vampires, and one of them is a human woman. Among the vampires, let's see. Has Dobson met Vanstrom?
I don't believe so.
No, I think he joined us after.
Okay, so he might not even recognize him. He would really.
I think it was like literally the next session. Dobson was in a gelatinous slime.
Yeah.
Okay, so you probably wouldn't recognize them then. Although you probably could describe.
So in his
someone else,
defense, I have been like saying I've been talking to him every day.
Yeah.
And maybe Urluk might have vaguely described that he was a vampire we encountered before he joined us, but probably not like too much.
Yeah, no. So I know that he'll like know who he is, but he won't recognize.
Yeah,
him
fair enough. Yeah.
Visually. So, anyway, so there is a vampire with kind of darkish skin. Some of the more powerful flying vampires have like a
black skin,
sort of black, like a blackish skin, not like human black skin, but like literally like onyx, like onyx sort of black skin. One
like that grayish soot color.
Yeah, with the sort of soot color skin, wearing red garb. There is 2 other vampires. They are. There is a female that is. Give me a second. She is dressed in a rather like a somewhat opulent kind of dress, with complete with a corset, a sleeve that like has like the shoulders exposed with like these really long kind of baggy sleeves. The sleeves and the long flowing skirt are a lavender sort of color, with a slit in her the left leg of the skirt. She has her hair, which is a sort of fuchsia color, done up in a fancy sort of bun with a pin in it. Clearly someone that is at least a very wealthy vampire. You're not sure if there's someone of particular importance, though. Then there is also... the other vampire is a male. And I don't think there's any cool pictures of him, are there? Okay, he wears a much simpler tunic, which is blue and has a sort of V, a deep V-cut neck to it. Has kind of long, thick, dark black hair. Got kind of a stern look to him. He, like the female, has more of the pale gray skin that you've seen with some other vampires. And so there's those 3, and then there is a human female, which is kind of following behind them. Probably some kind of servant or something, or slave, to them, that is carrying a tray that has a couple of goblets on it. And so, let's see, can you make a perception check again for me?
Sure.
Luckily, you do have the ability to kind of hide in plain sight.
How long's it been
if you so
since you've
choose?
left?
I mean, only maybe 10 minutes.
All right, I'll give it another 5 minutes and then I'll send him a message just to make sure everything's. We don't need another Dobson or another Dermo situation where we're on a rescue
right.
session.
Yeah.
That 21 is including the wide-eyed.
This is a hearing-based perception check. Sorry, so that's going to be 18. Okay, with an 18, you can make out what they're hearing, despite them speaking at normal volume about 100 feet away.
He said, DM, I'd like to clarify, he said earlier in the session he's all ears.
He's all ears.
Does he get advantage on any of the hearing checks? And also, I'd like to clarify, I think you both missed it. I said, that's you all ears earlier when we were doing something. Before he went into the castle, I said, that's you all ears in reference to him saying, I'm all ears.
You did call him that.
Yeah, I called him all ears, but nobody laughed at it, so I'll just, I'll stop making the ear jokes.
That sucks. Sucks, bro.
What big eyes you have, Dobson.
Nice.
Let's see. So, the group of them, just as they exit, it took a long time to describe, but just as they exit, they are seemingly in the middle of a conversation with the ashen-skinned vampire saying, well, yes, of course, Vanescula, we're getting a good yield from the current rotation, and we're getting more tithes coming in all the time. And she says, oh, good. You seem to be well in control. That would make sense, of course. You always seem to do a good job of keeping these meat sacks in line. Then she looks over at the human woman and she says, Sarius, come, bring the drinks. She has I was going to say silver, but that wouldn't make sense. She has a polished metal tray with a slight blue tinge to it, which holds these goblets of some liquid in them and holds them out for the vampires, which each take one of them and drink from them. And the female vampire that you now, as she was named, know is Vanescula, takes one of them, takes a sip. She's like, with these you are really spoiling us. Then the ashen-skinned one will say, well, it is always a pleasure, my lady. I think I should be getting going now, though. And then they sort of part their ways, say goodbye, and the two sort of more well-dressed vampires, along with the servant, head into the castle again, and the ashen-skinned one heads out into Darkmeyer to the east.
I'll send a message at this point. Probably 5 more minutes have passed or so.
Yeah.
I'll say, in Dobson's head, you'll hear, Dr. Dobson, have you made any contact with a way in or out? Have you seen anything? Are you in danger? Please report.
Are you using sending or message?
Message. Yeah, I'm using a message.
He's not in range of message.
So I won't get a reply back?
It might even fail. Message is 120 feet. He is a little further than that.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Sorry, I'm using sending, not message. I apologize. I don't have message at all.
You don't have message?
I've been sending to Vanstrom this whole time. Sorry, I said I get the two confused.
Yep, sending works fine.
Yeah. I was saying he's on a different plane. I had to look at double check it, and then I looked at the name and I was like, it's sending, not message. What am I saying? No, yeah.
He's on a different plane. What?
Where did he go? Yeah, more concerns. I'm like, he's fucking dead.
That would make sense given what we know.
Right.
As players, but
yeah.
I'm fine. Be back soon.
I'll look over to Veritas and I'll say, he's fine and he'll be back soon. Which is literally not answering any of my questions. But yes.
All right.
Oh no, you're resisting the urge to go inside.
Chaos.
Ain't no way he's gonna go inside.
Dobson was actually around when we saw when Vanstrom was attacked us.
Okay, so you'd recognize him. Nice.
Oh, he was. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you do know that is Vanstrom.
Was that like your first session with us? Second session with us, maybe?
That was the 5th session.
Oh wow, you've been with us longer than I always want to say. Like you're the new guy, but you've been here just as long as Urluk practically.
Dobson's
Pretty
been
much.
around longer than Oz was at this point.
I mean, let's be honest. Jared and Oz weren't around very long at all.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll be back.
Still haven't
They'll
been
be
around as long as Daishu yet.
Rip. We miss them.
I will continue my lap. And assuming I don't see anything or get caught, I'll head back to the group.
Yeah. So like in front of the main entrance, there's a set of gates that leads and a wall that leads to the rest of Darkmeyer. One thing that I probably would have mentioned if I was not so caught up in describing the castle itself is that the grounds are lightly patrolled by some guards, so it's not like completely empty. And the gates to the east, as well as the main entrance, have a handful of vampires posted at them.
Okay. Alright, well, barring anything else, I will head back to the group once I've finished the lab.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You are able to do that.
Okay. I will not drop the invisibility because you said that only took like 15-ish minutes, right?
We'll say 20 in total by now.
20. Okay. I still have 40 minutes. That's still worth keeping up, I think. I will let I'm back.
You're just gonna what do you like? You're just gonna be back. You're just gonna come back,
Yeah.
and you're just gonna be invisible in front of us.
Well, no, I'm verbalizing. I'm back.
But we can't see you.
Correct. Just so
are you like
know I'm here.
sneaking up on us to say it, or are you just like? Okay.
No, I'm just like walking up. I'm back.
We're just. I imagine all three of us, Scooby-Doo style, head peeked over the wall, staring at where we last saw you go, and then it's I'm back, and you're gonna get a slightly disgruntled groan from Urluk as he is not willing to accept that he was startled by you. But he's going to say, "Good gods, man!" He says, "Timing and place." He says, "Be seen and then heard, please." He says, "What did you find?" Now resting his hand on his heart.
The way Urluk died, heart attack.
I mean, he's 100 years old. You really gonna do that to him?
Unfortunately, not a lot, but I saw Vanstrom and I think Venescula.
I'm gonna say, how's Vanny doing?
Quiet and brooding.
Wait, which one's Vanny?
Vanstrom, obviously.
Not Van Escula?
Well, I don't know her. I know Vanstrom because I've talked to Vanstrom every day this month.
True.
Even if he's not talked to me.
The castle seems very, very well defended. I don't know if there's going to be a easy way in.
But is there an easy way out?
There's always an easy way out.
Not like that, Dobson.
And I'll tell you everything I found once we're back at base. Unless you guys want to look around more while we're here.
I'll look over to Veritas and yes, if they have anything that they want to do while they're out here. I don't know how often they make a trip out this way.
The Vertita will say, well, we should probably head back as quick as we can.
Oh, there was...
The longer we stay here, the more danger we're in.
They were meeting with another vampire who apparently is good at controlling the meat sacks. And I think he's just walking back into Darkmeyer now. A few minutes ago.
That was Vanstrom they're referring to.
Would I be able to gather that we are meat sacks?
Probably.
Okay.
And you didn't see it, but Dobson did air quotes when he said that.
Yeah, I can't see anything because Dobson's invisible right now.
Can't see anything because he doesn't have dark vision.
Oh boy.
It's not actually darkness, but you know.
Yes.
So that was actually Vanstrom that walked away?
Yes, it was.
I will say that then. Vanstrom's heading back into Darkmeyer as we speak.
We're in Darkmeyer as we speak, right? We're not in the castle, we're in Darkmeyer.
Yeah, you're like on the wall, but yeah.
So, like, if we hang out here, we'll be able to see him traveling, probably?
Maybe. You could probably still go follow him, maybe.
I would probably wait for the experts of this area to advise us at this point. I don't want to, do anything too... I mean, I'm trying to build the forces up. If we're, like, gonna kill ourselves here, then that defeats the purpose, so... I'll say, Veritas, what do you recommend?
It's going to be dangerous to delve into Darkmeyer without a good plan.
Indeed, which is why I've come to your advice here. What plan might we have if we were to tail Vanstrom to see where he is going?
Well, what would we gain out of it?
The innings and outings of his day, possibly, who he might find and keep ally. As much as we wary of these humans turning against us should we recruit them, he too should be worried of us swaying those around him against him. They always seek power, these vampires, I've noticed. Power and blood.
Perhaps. It's harder to get around in Darkmeyer unnoticed. There aren't humans that live there. It's only vampires. Any person that is spotted at all would be immediately imprisoned or killed.
So what would Veritas recommend for us then? I understand what he's saying, but what do you...
As much as I'd like to take this opportunity to learn a little more about him, I don't know if it's going to be a good idea right now. It's a little too dangerous right now.
Dobson? Dangerous? Bad idea? Do these sound good to you?
Oh no. Gonna make him...
These are two things he loves, is danger and bad ideas. Reroll character.
Reroll a character. Rewrite the bio.
I mean, I'm not one for bad ideas, but I would like... It would be interesting to see what Vanstrom is like up close without being attacked.
Well, that's the best plan we've had so far. But I don't think it's much of a plan as of yet. We should head back and see what recruits we can get in the lower parts of the city. I'll look over to Veritas and I'll say, what should we be doing?
Sorry, what do you mean when you ask him that?
Like, in terms of gaining the forces we're looking for, I'm gonna we don't plan on going deeper, and we don't plan on chasing him. So what is what would Veritas? We're out here already. There's no sense to go back right now if there's something else we can do while we're out, you know?
I don't know. What idea does Urluk have an idea?
Like nothing that isn't meta-y, so like no.
Okay.
Because like I know this quest line, right? But I'm like Urluk doesn't, so like I'm trying to but like I also don't want to just head back either. You know what I mean? Because I know there's stuff to be done in this area. I just don't know how we would even wrap our brains around doing it safely at this point.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We definitely need. I mean, like meta. We need those outfits. We need the dragon.
Yeah, you need a good disguise or something.
And I'm a camel, so like that's gonna be twice as hard.
Really good disguise. You could disguise yourself as. Oh wait, no, they don't even have horses.
And say that stick out even more. A mythical beast in a city full of mythical beasts. I guess we head back then. Seems like a loss of a day if we don't build any forces in Urluk's head. Like, yeah. I don't know. What do you want to do? What do you want to do, Zach? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking my brain is mush, and I'm not planning right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that we've done our crazy stuff for tonight. So let's What was the what did Veritas want us to do? What was his task force anyways?
The idea was to get a close look at the castle, look for any kind of entry points or weaknesses that could be exploited.
Which we couldn't really find anything that's a clean way in.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we kind of did that. Dobson, you got into the castle?
No, I could go try.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Good.
So this whole discussion was happening what, in like the courtyard?
Yeah, just outside the main entrance.
What would... I mean, I would know of, like... I mean, the closest thing in my experience for Urluk, or Urluk's experience, would be for, like, castles. Would be, like... the walls of Al-Kharid, and, like, the walls of Sophanum. Which wouldn't be a great example, because they're not really pertinent to this setup here. And also, he didn't live in them, so he doesn't know how he's been nomadic most of his life, and he lived in a tribe in the desert for the rest of it, so he wouldn't have much to help, honestly. So if you don't think there's a good way in, then we're just going to take your advice and head back, I guess. Yeah?
Sure.
I don't know what else to do is all.
Yeah.
Without, like, actually putting ourselves in real danger. Which I don't really feel like doing tonight. Shocker.
Should have another session where somebody dies while they're not here.
Good.
Gets imprisoned while they're not here, but this time in the castle. Instead of in some dinky tower. That would be great.
Yeah, I mean, let's head back then.
Okay. We can have another group stealth for everybody to quietly and carefully get back to the inside of the wall.
Right. Now back in the. Are we getting past without trace on the way back?
He will recast it so that you can.
Cool. I'll put the Blessing Trickster back on Andius.
Okay.
And I'm not going to drop the invisibility. I'm going to let it run its course.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, let me do theirs. Okay. Stealth. Step. Okay. All right, so, let's see something here. Okay, so, Vertita leads you guys back, toward the gap in the wall, for which you have to first climb down and then squeeze into a little gap that is hidden, behind a building. In doing so, Andius, who did not perform very well in his stealth, kind of slips while climbing down the wall, makes a bit of noise, and you hear the footsteps of a nearby creature quickly turn the corner, and you see what looks like one of the winged vampires walking on the ground. It peers over, and it doesn't immediately like yell or try to attract attention or try to attack anyone in the party, which is now clearly exposed with the exception of Dobson, who's invisible. Instead, it kind of just peers over curiously, kind of peeking around the corner of the building. As Andius is like getting up from like having slammed his butt against the ground, slipping off the wall. And when it sees Andius and everyone else that it can see, it will kind of speak in a kind of hushed voice. You there? You're Myerkey, aren't you?
Clearly not talking about us or to us. I'm not Myerkey.
You are bold to have come this far north.
Again, he's not talking to me, so I'm not replying.
The Andius will kind of reach for his the hilt of his axe, not saying anything just yet. But Vertita stops him with a hand on his arm.
Urluk has his hand on his kirpin, his silvered kirpin. But he's also not drawing, and he's just like has the hand on it.
Yeah, so Vertita stops Andius from drawing his axe perhaps a little too hastily. Kind of just looks over to see what this vampire's next move will be, quietly. And so she steps around the corner. As a female, she steps around the corner, and she says, listen, I don't mean any harm.
Bold to say.
Look, I shall not, I will not alert anyone of your presence here.
Why should we believe you?
Well, you will see by the time that you make it back to wherever you're going.
And where
no
might
one
that
will have
be?
followed you. I don't know.
I'll give
Listen.
him a squint or her squinty eyes. I'm very suspicious of this.
Listen to me. Not all vampires are the same. There are some that could be sympathetic to your cause.
And what is my cause? As if you know why I'm here.
Oh, I'm not sure of you. I've not seen anyone quite like you before, but
I'll look over to Veritas as if he's buying any of this too.
he is kind of waiting to see where this is going. And in doing so, he'll start to kind of run out of his patience. He'll say, "What do you want?"
Right, that's pretty much where I'm at too.
And she will continue. She'll say, "Look, I'm not going to turn you in. In fact, I want to tell you something helpful."
Can I see if this is like a giant ruse?
Yeah, you can insight it.
Yeah, I'd like to insight it. If they're telling the truth, then this could be good, right?
Good.
I will guidance as well, just because like I feel like this is important. Yeah.
Okay.
It's about as high as I could possibly roll.
Yeah, it pretty much is. You examine the tone of her voice, the direction of it, her body language as carefully as you can. It's a little difficult to get a read on vampires. They're different, both culturally and a little bit different anatomically to most of the people that you've spent your time with. But this vampire does not seem to be displaying outward aggression, which is pretty uncommon. Most of them will just see human instantly be like, "You need to be restrained."
That's what we call giving them the benefit of the doubt. That's why I'm not. That's why I'm not attacking right now, is because we weren't attacked right now. But I'm still
exactly.
I mean, we just had a huge discussion with Veritas on like who we can trust, and like bringing back even the humans that are here might be loyal to the vampires. So hearing a vampire might not be loyal to the vampires is like really not believable at all right now.
Yeah, what she's saying is probably very shocking.
But I don't see it as a lie.
You don't see any obvious tells that she's trying to deceive you at this time.
I'll make mention of that. I'll straight up say that. I'll be like, I sense no lies.
And at
so the
Dobson rushes forward.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Okay.
Here we are.
Weapons drawn?
No.
Inquisitive mind drawn, I think, is what he meant.
Insults drawn.
Curiosity piqued.
Still invisible. So if he says okay...
Oh god, the voice out of nowhere. Oh my god.
Wait,
oh shit.
He's still invisible?
Yeah.
While he's doing this? You just scare the shit out of her.
That's what I'm saying. He scared the shit out of everybody like that. Dobson, fuck, you can't... Be seen then heard, I'll yell. I won't yell it, but I'll say it to Dobson. I'll say, like, what did I say about being seen and then heard, Dobson?
So, she will, not seeing a creature making this voice, look confused, kind of back up a little bit, take a few steps back, closer to like the street that is the front of the building. What is that?
Oh, right. And I'll drop the invisibility.
Oh, she'll look down at the goblin.
Like right in front of her at this point.
And after a few seconds of getting a good look at him, kind of let her guard down again. She'll take a further step into the alley than she was before. What did Dobson say when he did that?
If he says you're all right, and then everything went like everybody interrupted him.
Right.
She'll continue now. For my own safety, I can't divulge too much, but
what is your name? Is she giving you?
I have her insight to see if it's good. She's gonna do a Dobson high-low roll to see if it's a good idea to give her.
Fair. So she wants us to trust her, but she's not giving us a reason to. So it's like.
See, okay, my high was her better judgment is not to give that up just
yet.
Cause, so, she considers for a moment. She says, listen, for my own safety, I can't. I'm sorry.
You understand how that makes it more difficult for us to trust what you say.
I do. But if I wanted you killed, I would have simply yelled.
You would have simply yelled, and it would have been your last, even if it would have been our last.
Perhaps.
Definitely. And I'll, gesture to my weapon.
Bob's kind of bouncing on his tippy toes with his hand raised.
What is it, Goblin?
Well, if you can't share any information with us, but you want to help us, maybe you could let me, inspect you to see what vampires are like. Let me see your teeth or your claws or
your butt.
Here, excuse me?
Excuse me? You want us to trust you? Show Bob and Vagine. It's like, okay, Dobson.
Oh, God. Nasty.
He's a goblin.
She'll go all the way into the alley, behind the buildings, so that no one will see. And she'll say, "All right." Here, and she brandishes her claw, not in a threatening way, but in a display sort of way, just spread her fingers apart with her claws in full effect.
Dobson looks like a child on Christmas.
They are very sharp and long.
He is being allowed close to a vampire without being attacked. This is amazing. And he immediately grabs her hand, kind of holding it up, looking at the claws at every angle, stopping, taking notes, going back, looking at it from another angle. And this is I don't know what if they're gonna try and talk while he's doing this, but teeth.
She sort of begrudgingly will give a little a non-aggressive snarl in order to bore them.
She's too tall. I can't reach up into her mouth. That's a sentence I never thought I'd say.
She's
she's too tall.
Too tall.
I'm trying to remember if Dobson knows anything else about vampire biology that he could get from just looking at her. He knows that they have these pseudo magical defenses to avoid being damaged, but I don't think that's something he could really glean just from this.
No, probably not from just a visual sort of thing. Probably not get any useful insights on that. She'll, when you're done inspecting her teeth, which caused my wife to give me a funny look.
Probably not the weirdest look she's given you during this campaign.
I don't know. It was a pretty weird look.
All right.
She's still doing it now because I'm calling her out for being a cutie.
Oh, yeah? Miss DM Cutie confirmed.
Yeah, definitely Mrs. DM Cutie confirmed.
Ooh, Zayd's got a crush on you.
What was I saying? Oh, so after you're done doing all of that, she will say, "Look, the reason why I wanted to approach you, um, Lady Venescula, my mistress and sister of Lord Draken, seems to have taken an interest in this this Safalan, I think he's called. I'm not really sure why though. But if you want a chance, there is a message hidden somewhere in Meyerditch, in the home of a man that has since passed, Mortis Guile.
Have you ever had a dream
Oh my god!
that that you
What is
you
that?
had you could
Babe, no.
want you could
Where do you say the house was?
She will describe the location of the house. She'll be like, "Oh, I think it's in central Meyerditch, but I bet your friends know where this guy used to live." And at the mention of this man's name, Vertida will cock his head. So it seems like he is familiar with that person. So let's see. The message you should find secreted away within the fireplace in that home.
Okay, with the boring stuff out of the way, can you tell me any more about vampire biology?
Boring stuff. They said, excuse me.
Boring stuff. Look.
I love it.
Neither of us should stay here any longer.
Aww.
It's for our own good. I already worry that I've said too much.
Do you perhaps have any recently deceased vampire people I could examine or autopsy, maybe?
Or talk to, I'll say.
No. And then she'll literally just fly up and leave.
I'll say, we'll be in touch as she flies away.
Oh
Well, that
boy,
was
I
fun.
hope I spelled that guy's name right. So Andius will, after Vertida gets everyone to the inside of the wall, which is literally right next to you guys, Andius will, and you get a moment to rest. Andius will say, "Well, that was odd. What was that all about?"
That was awesome.
Awesome.
I'll say, I sense no lies, but I still don't have a reason to trust her.
Vertida will pitch in and he's like, I couldn't really get a good read on her, but I don't know.
Do I have a feeling?
I've never seen a vampire quite act in that way.
Say, do I feel like my read was pretty good on her? With my 26 insight.
So, I mean, I can't really answer that. That's kind of a meta question.
I mean, but like, I can trust my gut and how I feel when I get insight, right? Like, a 26 told me that I didn't detect a lie, but like, would it give me any warm fuzzies about what she was saying? Like, how would Urluk feel with that?
I mean,
I get that it's meta, but like, he would be feeling something at the end of it. Like, does he? Just because he didn't detect a lie doesn't mean that there wasn't one, and just because he rolled well, that doesn't mean that it was high enough. Like, does he feel good with how he sits right now in regards to this?
Yeah, he would.
Okay. Yeah, I'll express that I sense no lies, but I'm not sure if we have a reason to trust her still.
She had ample opportunity to kill me.
Yes, but sometimes you leave a weaker bait alive so that a bigger trap can be sprung, I'll say.
I like her.
He didn't answer any of the questions you sought. Which means she's still hiding something. Lord Veritas and Ennius say to me, being a little bit incredulous to all this.
Andius is probably on the side of not trusting her. He's a little more grouchy of a man. It's like, I don't know about this.
I agree.
Vertita, on the other hand, is entirely intrigued.
I'm intrigued. I'm just saying I don't know if I trust her still. There's a different, they're not mutually exclusive ideas.
Yeah. So he takes a moment to sort of think it over. He's like, So they could be leading us into a trap.
That's what I think. What better trap than when the bait itself rolls into your home?
Sure.
Unannounced, or rather announced but unknowing.
But then, why give up 4 members, or 2, depending on how you look at it?
Pawns, my friend, pawns.
Why give up 4 people for something that could be investigated by 1? The home is at the in the middle of Mire Ditch. Relatively accessible.
Certainly, our next step is at this Mortis Guile. Was his name? Mortis Guile.
Yes, Mortis.
Certainly the next step is to go there, but we should tread lightly.
Yes, indeed. I would suggest sending only 1 person into that home, and I guess near that home.
Also being wary that if she could find us that easily, that others may too.
Indeed. The vampires are...
You found her, Dobson, yes, we know.
We do know that the vampires are very perceptive.
Yeah, that's fair. We know that as well.
They're proficient in perception.
No boy.
I think we've determined that they can't smell us while invisible, necessarily.
You did notice that she did not have a, blind or sort of tremor sort of sense.
That may not be the same for, Vanstrom, but at least the base
might not. But yeah, so at least the sort of Firewatch sort of level of vampires like this lady appear to be, don't appear to have any particularly extraordinary senses. I keep thinking of that scene from Bob's Burgers where they put the toothpicks on the floor. No, don't play this game again. It just involves me cleaning up toothpicks.
I've told you I don't like this game before.
3? There's 4. He instantly gets into it 5 seconds later.
I mean, they're his kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that scene so much. It's like this perfect back and forth. Anyway.
That show's just too well written, honestly.
Yeah.
Do we want to head to this house tonight?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm gonna say we should travel at half speed just to be careful. we should be
Yeah,
careful.
you can do that. That gives you, I think it's +5 stealth.
Mm-hmm.
Slow, able to use. Oh, interesting. I guess this is more for long distance travel actually, but slow long distance travel, which is not quite half speed. It says able to use stealth. But that's really for I guess you could break it down by mile. Sure. So yeah, well, I'll just give you some small bonus to stealth, I guess. Sure. It's not a particularly long journey, so it doesn't take super long even at the slow speed. But the party will travel carefully back to the part of the wall that is in Meyerditch where you had entered it before on the way here.
Mm-hmm.
Vertida will pitch in before you exit the wall. Here's the exit. Now, if we want to, we can stop by the Guile home. It's about in the center of Meyerditch, pretty much on the way back to the hideout. What do you think?
Dobson?
Sure.
I do nothing without the doctor's opinion.
Very good.
My very nuanced and complex opinions.
Yeah, and I'll say Dobson, and he'll say sure, and I'll say that's what the doctor ordered.
Who should be the one to enter the home? You send only one?
I'll look over to Andius and I'll say, young, spry, strong Andius shall do it. And I'll pat him on the back. A warrior, a staple of his kin. And we shall follow in suit shortly after he has verified its safety.
He will cross his arms and say, I'll do it.
Says, you are the type of warrior that bards sing songs about. And I'll say, yeah, just the
He is Bob.
Yeah, right. Then I'll say, on we go.
Vertida will then guide this group to about where the home of Mortis Guile is. Vertida will say, the man that used to live here that died some time ago, and his wife is a servant, I suppose you would say, in Darkmeyer. So no one lives here. Yeah, let me see if I had some notes on this. I think I did. Hang on. Oh, do I have a handout for this later? Hang on. We got a potential handout?
Oh
Shit.
I better make sure that this is the right one. Okay. Okay. All right. So, you approach the home. The rest of you stay 50 feet away, hidden away in a building. As Andius goes to approach the home. And oh yeah, let's have Andius make a investigation check. Good thing he has 8 intelligence. So, you see him enter the home. about a minute passes, he exits again, and indicates to you guys with a little bit of waving that it appears to be safe.
I'll head on in as I'm a massive camel.
Okay. You are indeed a massive camel. Vertita will see this as the proof he needs to deem it safe enough, and also join in. Inside you see a abandoned home, much like many of the others you've seen in Meyerditch, completely rotten and crumbling. There is indeed a fireplace in this home, as was mentioned by the mysterious vampire that you spoke with. And so there's not a note that is seemingly just kind of sitting on the fireplace, so perhaps it is hidden.
Yeah, they said to look in the fireplace, right?
Yes.
Can I give it a look, see what we see?
Yes, give me an investigation check, please.
Right.
Dobson can do one too if he so chooses.
I'll have Dobson do it. He's got better eyes than I do, and I'll put a guidance on him.
True.
Okay.
All the buffs. DC 36. Let's
right.
go. Wow, all that? You only got 16, I guess.
I rolled a 4.
He did. Okay, so.
Still pretty good.
Searching.
Would you get a 4 for my roll or for my D4 then?
I got a 4 for both.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Nice.
Searching through the fireplace, you run your fingers along the cracks between the bricks. Find nothing there until you reach into the inside. Actually, you probably would climb into the inside because you're so small. Climb into the inside, feel around in the darkness there until you feel what feels like the tip of a rolled up bit of parchment. You pull it out of a little notch that must have been carved into the inside of the chimney, and find a note that I will add to your journal in a second. Ownership. Observer.
Fireplace scroll.
Fireplace scroll. Who wants to read it for the class?
I'll clear my throat and I'll say, to the hopeful reader, I am compelled to commit my experience to paper, perhaps to ease my conscience at the crimes that I've committed against my fellow man, or perhaps I hope that in some way these details may help my fellow struggle against the fires. My unbearable duty upon the virtue of my family's lives is to assist in the underground laboratory. Each day I aid the stinking Vyres for their diabolical experiments. They claim that the research will aid us, but I am aware of their darker purpose. The ties do not come fast enough for them. They are always hungry for more. Ever more mouths to feed as countless more Vyres are created, the never-ending need for more human blood. Against our will, we tinker and toil with compounds, experimenting, researching, recording, but to what aim? It is clear to me now that it is not in our aid, but to our efficiency in producing more blood. As the farmers feed livestock to fatten our food, so too the Vyres seek to fatten our blood. But it is not gone. You'll see that Urluk has a bit of a dry mouth, and he takes a swig of his water. He says, "But excuse me, but it has not gone well for the Vyres, and just now the laboratory has closed down. All outward manners of its appearance is disguised to hide its purpose, and all that my followers associated with have disappeared. With such haste and secrecy did this come about that I dare to think that some rare and dangerous thing has been discovered there, something that may put fear into the hearts of the Vyres, and if indeed a heart should be there at all. I have hidden so long now, and they come looking for me many times already. They would not rest until I caught if they knew that I have the means to access that place again, hidden at home in in depictions of statuesque evil. If I get chance, I shall return and learn what I can to pass on to my brothers in arms. However, if my eyes are not in the last to read this message, then I beg you, dear reader, to do what you can to discover the secret of this place, and if found, use it to, if you can, incite the destruction of the virus. The laboratory lies in the northeast of Maya Ditch, south of the mines. I'll look over to Veritas and I'll say, is there mines there? Do we know of these mines?
Oh, good question. Is that supposed to be in this note?
It does say that.
It does say that.
I'm just reading what I see, DM.
That's fine. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, I'm like gonna stop to look over at Veritas and be like, do we know of such mines?
Hmm.
I'm gonna say, it says north of the Trackerel Fish Shop and east of the Skull of a Chest Inn. Mayaku prevail, and I'll gesture with my hands like yada yada bullshit. Mayaku prevail, you know. And it says signed, Morit Goyle. This is the man we're looking for. No, and there's a symbol of the Mayaku scythe or sickle. I'll say. Let's see. Do we know of such mines?
Mines.
Mind you.
Good question. Now we do know that many humans have been taken somewhere to the north, where they seem to disappear. Could be these mines. I don't know what they would be mining though.
There's one way to find out.
Something else to investigate.
I'll say there's one way to find out as I look over to Dobson, right? That's his saying.
Oh no. Mines? Ooh. A cave, you say?
Right? To say, shall we make our way there then?
Okay.
Okay.
We should probably get this information to Savalon at this point.
I'll say, as you wish. I'll say, we should also check on Dermo, see how he's recovering from his imprisonment, I'll say.
Yes, for sure. So Vertita will lead the group back to the Mayaku hideout, where we will continue next week with breaking the new information to
Excellent.
the rest of the party and the other NPCs. There we go.
Reading that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. No kidding. All right. Let's.
Our highlights.
Yeah, let's do our 3 favorites.
So, my favorite thing that the DM did was that little dialogue with Venescula and the meat bags, and having like that dialogue. That was kind of fun to like hear in. Favorite thing that I did was, I think, read that letter at the end. Obviously, that was a lot of fun. And then I think my favorite thing that Dobson did was rolling to see if he did something stupid. I just love that. When you let your character decide, really, if instead of you deciding something, and I love that Zach just has no regard for the safety of his character's life, just as I do for mine, and it makes it a lot more fun to have these kind of one-shot sessions where we just have 2 characters that are just absolute chaos. And then we bring some critical NPCs to the story with us in case everything goes wrong. We lose some serious party members, and we lose some serious NPCs to the Mayaku. They came to aid us, and they took 2 of our strongest, and then never came back. That'd be so good. Anyways, that's my highlights.
Danny?
Yeah, Danny's asleep. I think I heard him
He
snoring.
fell asleep before we even started.
August. Very good. Very good.
My favorite part was when August asked if he could see the stars.
No, that was last session.
Oh, right. Last
No,
week.
He said one line.
Last week.
It's just that I said it, not him. Well, I don't even remember what I said. It was like,
No.
I have to recover.
Yeah, right. Can we roleplay that Zephylos lost another 1 square inch of flesh on one of his extremities due to Dobson's researching?
Heh.
It's not confirmed to have anything to do with Dobson. He
It's
just
definitely-
wakes up with some skin missing. It's fine.
And Dobson wakes up with a smile every time.
Dobson just wakes up happy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Because he's got flesh.
Mm.
I just see them. I just imagine they're like paper clipped to various pages in his book. Samples. A sprig of hair. I just wake up and I have like an eyebrow missing, like shaved. And good morning, Urluk. And it's like, what did you do? Why are you so chipper?
That's part of the journaling process, to have something to look back on about what you were going through with it.
Mm-hmm.
See how the skin and the hair color progresses on our adventure.
Mm-mm.
He's gonna have all these 1-inch skin grafts, and he's gonna just start cloning Zephylos when we make it rich. He's gonna have an army of Zephyloses. So good.
My favorite thing that the GM did was just kind of the way that we are getting information has felt very, very natural. Whereas I felt in the game it wasn't as natural to run into. I like the way that the information is being fed to us and discovered better this way. My favorite thing that Urluk did.
It doesn't have to be Urluk. Any party member tonight. Any party member.
You're right. You're right. So my favorite thing that Danny did,
right,
was when he fireballed the party.
Right. No, that was wrong. Wrong tonight's session. We gotta think of tonight's session.
Oh, right. Okay.
Now, when you say fireball, which time?
Well, one time it was an ice dagger.
Right.
Right. And anyway, my favorite thing that another player did was Urluk just butting in on me. I promise.
Yeah, right before you can finish. Yeah. Promise me. I promise. I'll do it.
And my favorite thing that Dobson did this session was actually getting to inspect a vampire up close. And
check out the teeth.
Yeah. Did not make her as uncomfortable as I could have, but maybe next time.
It's aiming to make people uncomfortable.
Just,
I just like that's not Dobson's goal. Well, his goal is information.
Right. At any cost, almost.
Let's see. Favorite thing that I did. It's cool to give descriptions of the castle and the vampires. There's a new important character or location that comes up, so I enjoy doing that. Something that you guys did. The sort of just juxtaposition of the sheer uncontrollable curiosity of Dobson with the untrusting nature of Urluk was really funny. I enjoyed that.
Fair. It's fun to see the impulsivity of Dobson meeting the thinned out patience of Urluk. Yeah, you can say that again, Mrs. DM.
Mm-hmm. Okay, with that, we're gonna end for today.
We'll end on a sneeze.
Thank you.
And we will pick
GG's. We'll see you
hopefully with everybody next time.
Yeah, next Thursday, hopefully.
Y'all later.
Bye.